Price of Fame.
It's lonely at the top.
And welcome to the Price of Fame,
where we talk about fashion, art, music,
and entertainment.
You know I'm Savage Rogers.
And I'm the Mighty Mike Vegas.
Mighty Mike Vegas.
Yeah.
You're looking like Jam Master Jay right now.
Yo.
You got that.
I love that dude, man.
You got that Jam Master Jay on.
I love that
Rest
dude,
in
man.
peace.
Rest
JMJ.
in peace, Jay. Rest in peace,
yeah.
man. I wish he was still here, man.
Yeah. I remember his studio was right by one of your shops.
Yeah, yeah. I saw him the day he passed away, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
The day he passed away, I saw him.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's
he was
crazy.
just left the store, man, and yeah.
Right. They finally caught those guys after all of those years.
I know. Yo, actually, they said one of them got stabbed up like 18 times.
Right.
Recently, yeah, 18 times. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. No good deed goes unpunished.
That's true.
Or no bad deed goes unpunished. It's going to come back around.
You know what's so crazy, man? I met Jam Master Jay 3 times in my life. The first time I met him, I was in junior high school.
Okay.
Right? I was in junior high school. I went to 192, Hollis, Queens. And we used to come out for lunch and get, patties. We used to go across the street, get beef patty for lunch in, junior high school.
Right.
So, I'm in the 7th or 8th grade. And Jay used to sit on top of, his car. I don't know if it was a Lincoln or a Cadillac. I think it was one or the other. Right. But he used to sit on top of the car. And I'm like, oh my God, yo, that's Jay. That's Jam Master Jay. This is Run DMC's height of Run DMC's career. And I'm like, oh my God, all me and my friends is like, Jam Master Jay, Jam Master Jay. He was cool. Mm-hmm. Time goes by. I moved to North Carolina. I stay down there. I come back. I'm like 19, 20. I didn't see him for a while. I didn't know him at the time anyway. So then I'm like 27 or 27, 28. I see Jam Master Jay in front of Justin's. Mm. And I knew he was from the hood, but I see him in front of Justin's in Puff's restaurant. Right. And he was about to get a ticket. Mm. I told the cop, I said, no, that's me. He had a Lexus, a GS. I said, no, that's me. I fronted like the car was mine. I saved him from getting the ticket.
Right.
Mm. And then we got a little cool at that time. Then he saw me again, and he came to see Light the barber, which is 50 Cent's barber now.
Right.
Came to see Light, and we started kicking it, and then before you know it, me and Jay just got cool. I started cutting his hair. Every time he came to the shop, I would cut his hair, and we got cool. And that was like my 3rd time, and then we just got real tight. And then tragedy happened.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it was like, wow, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you meet somebody and get cool with somebody that you always admired, and both of us are Aquariuses too.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Matter of fact, the first time I met Jam Master Jay was actually at your barbershop.
Oh, yeah?
The Hut, the infamous Hut.
Yeah.
Everybody was at the Hut.
Yeah. A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people were there.
The first album I ever purchased with my own money, I think I was talking to Paul about this, was Tougher Than Leather. Run DMC. It's the first album I ever actually purchased with you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because of course we like dinosaurs. We just had to go out.
Oh, no question.
Stand in line.
But yo,
and buy an album.
That was it though.
You know what I mean? There's no downloads. There's no, you know what I mean? You could just go online and stream the album. You had to go out. Everything used to drop on, what was it, Tuesdays?
Yeah.
So you had to go and wait.
You go to Coconut, Tower Records.
Yep.
What's the other one?
And Tower Records always had a line.
What was it? Sam Goody. Yeah, Crazy Eddie.
The Wiz.
Yeah.
It was a couple of them, huh? Yeah, the Coliseum. You could go get music. But I mean, you know what's so crazy about that? Back in the days when you used to open up a record, you used to go open it up and want to see pictures.
Yeah, the
and
covers,
read
the
certain
pictures.
things. Shout out to this person, that person. You
So
really
who
was
wrote the
engulfed
songs?
in the
You
life.
wanted to see who wrote the songs.
Yeah, who
you
wrote
wanted
this,
to
who
see.
wrote
Yeah,
that.
right.
You was engulfed in a culture.
For sure.
And you lose that. The digital era is like a pro and a con because you lose the whole attachment to that person.
Right.
To the product, yeah.
Right, you lose that right.
And they used to have
it's convenient.
Elaborate
It's convenient,
covers.
but you lose
They fold and they open up into a poster. You know, they used to have a lot of.
And I mean, it's just different. Just think about it. You go stand in line, like it's you meeting different people on that line face to face. You might be there with your boys, but it's all types of interactions going on.
Yeah.
While you're waiting on that line to get that record, everybody's excited to get the record.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a line. You never went to any of these spots and it wasn't a line.
Nah.
So you waiting in line. So it was just the whole hype building up. You pay your money, you get the record, rip the plastic off. When you could smell the smell of the smell of the cassette, even before CDs came out. The smell of the cassette when you open it up, you know what I mean? The newness of it.
That fresh.
Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like you don't get that no more.
Sometimes the artists would be at the record store signing autographs.
They would be. Yeah.
When you buy your record, sometimes the artists would be there. So it was a different time, man.
Yeah, it was just different.
Yeah.
But speaking of like Run DMC, do you think like the Run DMC just got on because of Russell Simmons?
What you mean, like nepotism?
Yeah, because of nepotism. Like, do you think that played a part in it? Like, you know what I mean?
Did it play a part?
I
don't think so. I don't consider that nepotism because you gotta think Russell was a party promoter.
Right.
They're in the same household. So if my brother, think about this, if he was lifting weights, Run probably would be lifting weights to some degree.
Right.
He looked up to Russell. That was his older brother.
Right.
Russell was a party promoter, so Run followed in his footsteps, and Run just happened to be good at what he was doing. Right, Not even good, but great at what he was doing.
But you don't think that opened some doors? Like, hey, like, oh, that's Russell's younger brother.
You know what I consider nepotism? I don't know how to rap at all. I don't know anything. Right. Matter of fact, I don't know anything, but my uncle's gonna put me in there
and teach me.
But I still don't know nothing. I don't know. I don't know the first thing about anything.
Right.
And he just put me in there. That's a different level of nepotism. I think that listen. I'm giving you an opportunity. Seize the opportunity.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people who their fathers or uncles or whatever are very skilled at what they do. They're uncles.
Right.
But they are not. And they put them in a position to seize, but they can't because they don't have a skill.
So let me ask you something. So it's big talk right now about Bronny James and LeBron because they're saying Bronny James in the NBA, he's flopping. But they saying he only got in the NBA.
How old is he?
I don't know. He might 21 maybe.
21. Okay.
Yeah,
now
he's young. He's young.
I don't really know sports that well, so I can't really comment on that. But
right.
I understand.
And then so the backstory is he was great in high school.
Okay.
He went to college, like had a heart condition.
Okay.
So he was like out a little bit.
Okay.
Came back and then got drafted like to the NBA. To the Lakers, to the same team his dad plays on.
Was he trash in high school? That's what I want to know.
In high school he wasn't.
How was he in college?
Not that great.
Before the heart condition.
He was decent before the heart condition. Maybe.
But see, are they comparing him to LeBron?
Right, or the players that he came in the game with.
Or are they comparing him to the people that he's playing with?
Right.
Who are they comparing him to?
I think what it is because his dad is who they are.
Those are big shoes to fill,
right, they're
man.
going to compare you to your
That's
father.
Unfair.
That's what they're going to do.
That's unfair. You can't. I'm not going to hold that against him, man.
Yeah, because I even get, I don't take up for a lot of people, but I think if someone was like talking about my son all the time, I think I would have pressed him too.
Stephen A. Smith got away. He got away smooth because I would have
said something too.
Come on. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's okay to talk about Bronny. It's
right.
Okay.
He's an NBA player. He plays in the NBA.
He's a big boy. He's a grown man. It's okay. But there's constructive criticism and there's destructive criticism.
Right.
You constantly talking about this black young man.
Yeah, you're disrespecting me as a parent
saying that he needs to go here. You're being very destructive. You're not being constructive. You understand what I'm saying? He's not saying, listen, if he needs to hustle more, he needs to do this, blah, blah, blah. True. I think if he did this or that, blah, blah, blah. You're constantly comparing him to his father, and you're constantly being dismissive of his talents. That's kind of wrong. And you're black.
Right.
Come on. I saw an interview with Serena Williams' father where the guy was interviewing Serena. No, that's
Venus or Serena?
Venus. He's one of them.
Okay.
And he said, so you think you're going to be the best? He said, I know I'm going to be the best. He said, so you think you're going to be the best? He said, I know. He said, why do you think that? So then he had to step in and say, listen, you're constantly asking her something.
Right, the father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly doing the same thing to LeBron's son, after a while, that plays a mental factor in him trying to achieve what he's trying to achieve.
Right.
Especially coming from somebody at Stephen A. Smith's level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The caliber of, person that he is.
I actually think once all the hype dies down, and if everyone wasn't talking about him, and then he wasn't in the shadow of his father, I think he would actually be a decent player, which he still might be. He still
he might
develop.
not be a starting five, but he might be on a team.
Right.
But you're comparing him to his father. It's not too many people on the planet like his father.
Right.
In the league since the league started.
Right. He's like,
there's not too many people.
Right. They consider him one of the greatest players of all time.
Exactly. So
right.
why are you comparing that boy? That's wrong.
Right.
Did they compare who's the two guys, the two brothers that play football and their father was a football player?
Oh, Eli Manning.
Yeah.
The Manning.
The family they're great at what they do.
Right.
They you know what I'm saying? That's an exception.
They do compare him to the father, though, but
exception.
they're great.
But then I saw other
But
people.
again, do you think that's nepotism because the father was so great at what he did? Do you think that made the sons like, oh, let's look at the sons?
What would you rather?
It's quarterbacks also.
You know what I think? The person who made up nepotism is jealous.
Because they don't got nobody to bring them in, right?
They
You don't
jealous.
got nobody to stick their hand back down.
Because believe you me, if they were in that position, they'd be like, of course, let's go.
Right.
Let's go, Dad. Let's go, Uncle. You want to put me in a position? Yeah.
All right, so on the flip side of that, you know what I mean? I'm going to get on the flip side of it. So if that's the case, right, why do you think like a Chris Rock didn't bring up like a Tony Rock?
I don't know. That's more personal.
Because Tony's pretty, not saying that he's the funniest guy, but he's talented. He is talented, you know what I mean?
I don't know why.
And then, he didn't extend the hand back down. He's like, oh, you want to get here, you do it yourself.
A friend of mine, right, a close friend of mine,
Right.
I ain't name no names, but a close friend of mine told me he was talking to the Wayne brothers. He was in California.
Right.
He was speaking to the Wayne brothers, and the Wayne, Marlon told him, he was saying, yo, why your brother didn't put you in a movie? He said, I don't know, man. His brother was, pretty big in the movies. you
Right.
know. He said, why your brother didn't put you in a movie? He said, I don't know.
It's Tony Rock saying
He said, no, not Tony Rock. My friend, I don't know Tony Rock. I'm talking about my friend's a comedian.
Right.
His brother he's in movie business. And
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
He said his brother told him, he said to Marlon, Marlon said, yo, why your brother didn't put you in that movie, man?
Right.
He said, yo, I don't know. He said, yo, everybody can't be the Waynes.
Which is true.
Everybody can't be the Waynes. And if you talk about nepotism, that's the pinnacle of nepotism.
Yes.
But every single one of them worked their behinds
They
off.
do.
Every single one of them, and they stuck together.
Yeah.
I think they need to be more nepotism.
Yeah, for sure.
My kids, you best believe nepotism running around all that. You crazy?
You do something, you better bring them up. They need to be with you. Yeah.
He gonna shine your shoes. He gonna pack your bags. She's gonna do this. He gonna do. You better get him in.
And then that's what is it? Damon Wayans' son. He was saying that they was like, oh, so someone's asking him in an interview. They were like, oh, so I guess the whole family is just it worked for you guys. And he was like, yeah, but everybody's not on TV. Yeah. He was like, some people have other jobs. He was like, they're funny even behind the scenes.
Yeah. But
still, they're not put in front of the camera. They do other jobs though.
Yeah.
He's like, the whole family basically worked together. The entire family.
Think about it. If all of us in here were family.
I mean, we
all family.
We
some degree with family.
Yeah. Facts.
But what I'm saying is, if all of us in here were family, right? Everybody's playing a part. Everybody's making this wheel turn, right?
Right.
And we trust one another that what goes on in this room stays in this room.
Right.
It's not going to be some, you know what I'm saying? Little whispers here and there. And, oh, I heard this and I heard that. No, because we're family. And if we keep this ship running smooth, then we're going to keep on making money for our kids and our next kids to continue our legacy.
Nepotism.
I really don't have a problem with nepotism.
Right. I don't either.
As long as you're gonna work, as long as you're gonna work. If I put you in a position, work like you don't know me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're gonna go hard for the next person, I need you to work like that for me.
Right.
And just do what you got to do.
Right.
But if it's the other way around, because there's a lot of rich people and people in high positions that have deadbeats
Yeah.
for kids.
It's
or
true.
nephews.
It's true.
And they just can't get right. And be like, no, I can't do
It's
that.
true.
And I'm not even talking about black. I'm talking about black, white, whatever.
everything.
Race
It's
people.
true.
Some people,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just can't be helped.
Right.
But then there's that person who wants to work their behind off and they just want it. You can see it in them.
Right.
But listen, I know you're not ready for this, but listen, I'm going to put you right here. Okay, I'm going to give you a story. I saw a documentary. I don't know if they own the Hard Rock Cafe or they own a hotel, but they own a basketball team. It's a family. The company, the family that owned, I think the Miller Company.
Okay.
It's a family. It's a family that used to own that company. They said the sons used to work in the warehouse. The father was rich, but in the summertime, he used to have his sons work in the warehouse.
Right. So
Then-
they probably understand the entire business.
Work in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Then next summer they work in another position.
Right.
And he told the people in the warehouse treat them like like anybody else.
Right.
And his sons had to work hard. And when he passed on, they continued with the family business, and then they started getting into hotels. They
Right.
bought a basketball team.
Right.
They got hotels in Vegas. I forgot the
a,
hotel in Vegas.
That's like a lot of people laugh at the Hiltons. Like
I think so. I don't really
it has
know.
to be.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes,
what it was, yeah,
yes.
Maloof.
If you look at their history, their story, the story is amazing. That's what nepotism. Good
Right.
nepotism is that.
Right.
You teach them from the bottom up, and you teach them this is why you have to work hard and make sure that this is never in
Right.
vain.
Even with the Hiltons, where like Paris was doing like reality TV,
Yeah.
and her and like Nicole Richie was supposed to be dumb and like all of this stuff. And then the other sisters started working in the hotels and taking it over.
Yeah.
But then Paris came right behind her and started jumping in the hotel business too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like nepotism because they're the Hiltons. But
Yo, bro, we do what we do, man.
Right.
I mean,
but so they got pulled up, but they're actually good at working in that industry. No matter what else they do and what you might think of them,
Mm-hmm.
they're actually good at at the hotel business.
come on, you're around it every day. You hear your father
Right.
talking about it, your uncle talking about it. You might go to some yacht party,
Right.
for family members, and somebody's talking about, oh, we could get this hotel, and this will
Right.
be nice because it's
And-
right near the water. And you're like, oh, I remember when he said we should buy this by the water,
Right.
and I see some water over here in Maine. We might as well put a hotel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You remember things, and then after a while, it becomes second nature.
And none of it is that easy. That's saying like Floyd Mayweather Sr., right? Who was a boxer. Like, I could be a boxer, but then guess what? My son has to do all of this work.
But see, that's what I'm talking
Right.
about.
You have to do all of this work just to get to the level
Yeah.
that anyone's going to mention you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
you got to go through the amateurs. You got to do the same thing everybody else did. Probably even harder because they know who
look
you
at
are.
Floyd Mayweather's grandson.
Right. Already.
His grandson's going to be amazing.
Yeah. He's already. Yeah.
He's a
for
natural,
sure.
and before you know it, come on. It is in your it's your
Right.
job to make sure your next
teach 'em young.
generation is done right.
Yeah, so a lot of people I don't have a problem with nepotism. Not even with Bronny James and LeBron. I don't have no problem with that.
Nah,
He did what he was supposed to do. As a father, who wouldn't want to play on the same team with that son? That's never been done. And my son got to the level where he could actually make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
Whether you think he's worthy to be there or not, it's my son. I would want to play.
There's a
with him.
lot of basketball players' sons that can't play ball,
No, for sure.
that are not good like that. You know what I'm saying?
The
Carmelo
Jordan-
Anthony's son, they say he's pretty good.
No, he's phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
he's
he's pretty good.
He's about to play on the for the Puerto
But
Rico
would he
team.
get the opportunities if he was somebody's living in the Bronx or Brooklyn or Queens and had a
Right.
regular father?
It's true. You
He probably
might
wouldn't
not
get an
get tapped.
opportunity.
Right,
He's
he
not
wouldn't
going
have
to
got
the
tapped.
best
Right.
tournaments or whatever you call. I don't know sports
It's
like that. but I'm just giving you an
AAU,
example. Yeah, he's not
whatever,
going to all of
right.
that and get into Nike tournaments. He's not doing all that.
Right, it's
because
true.
he don't have the finances, or they're not putting him, they're not exposing him
Right.
to all of that because they don't have the finances or the connections.
Right.
Listen, man. I mean, like I said, jealous people will make up any reason to dismiss somebody.
Yeah.
It's just it's haters, man. It's haters on a whole nother level.
the haters
and if a
gonna hate.
kid has a problem with you saying you got in because of nepotism, I'd be like, you're damn right I got in. You're damn right. You wish your father would do that for you. Don't get mad at me because my father's in a better
father's
position.
somebody.
Huh?
Because don't get mad at me because my father's somebody.
Exactly. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
Come on, man.
Because like I said, all of these things though, you still have to be somewhat skilled, or you can't. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can't get in.
yeah,
No matter what it is.
Yeah.
No matter if it's a hotel business, sports, movies.
Yeah.
That's why I can't understand it. The whole Chris Rock and Tony Rock has to be something we don't know about. It has to be something that we,
that's deeper
we
than-
just don't
It's
know
something
about.
else, man.
Yeah, it has
like
to be.
like like
I
like
agree.
the thing is, I don't know. I can't even comment on it because I'm like, I don't think he hate him.
No, I don't.
That's
We
your
don't
brother.
know.
I don't think
But
he hate him. He probably just. It could be a variation of
Right,
things.
we don't know. We're not from the
He could
household.
have put him
or
on
whatever,
position one time, and nigga never showed up.
but, I mean, that ain't the way he tells us. The Tony Rock
his
tells
side
the
and then
story.
Chris Rock's side.
Right, Chris Rock
So I
don't
don't
tell
know.
his side. So you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
he don't have no side because he's not even telling his side. So we don't know. Like you said, it could be a completely different side where he's like, I didn't bring him in because of this.
We don't know, man.
Or he's
So-
telling you this, but this is actually what happened. We don't know.
If you put
We don't know.
let's say for instance,
Hypothetical.
he put a person in a position where he could really catapult his career, and the dude shows up late.
Right.
Matter of fact, he don't show up late. He shows up on time, so he got to be there by 9:00 to go on stage, and he shows up at 8:58.
Okay.
You messed up. I'm not messing with you no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
You
No,
didn't
I
get
mean,
a
I
chance
get
to
it. I
absorb
mean,
the room. You didn't meet the
a
owner
lot of people-
of the club.
a
You
lot
didn't
of
meet the owner
people-
of the club. You didn't know who the waitresses are. You didn't know who the
but the
hosts.
way the stuff is set up now, people would say that you're wrong because they'd be like, he was there on time because that's
Nah.
how everyone thinks now. I think the same way as you. Like
Yeah.
if you're on time, you're late.
Yes.
You need to be early. Like you
First
said,
of all, you got to absorb the room.
for sure.
You got to absorb the room.
Something of that
take in the room,
magnitude.
and
Of that
you gotta
magnitude,
feel
for
out-
sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're about to
Right.
do something, so you want to see how it is. Who's who? Okay, I see that she doesn't laugh a lot. I see he laughs a lot, but he doesn't. Oh, so I know if I go to him, it's already a laugh. You want to make sure that you could fill the room out. But if you show up there on time, the person that went before you,
Right. You don't know
you don't
what's
even know.
what.
You don't know what's what. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a reason behind everything, man.
Yeah.
It's a reason behind everything. You
But
know.
again, I don't have no problem with it. No, like nepotism at all.
You
I
got a
don't
problem
have
with nepotism, Paul?
No, sir. I wish I did more. Y'all inspiring me.
Yo,
I'm dead
you got a
serious.
problem with nepotism?
No, and honestly, I'm kind of a product of it. I teach preschool.
Yeah.
My parents used to own the place.
Okay. Right,
There you go.
He used to teach preschool.
I work in every part of it. I know every single part of it. Whether it's the teaching, the managing,
Yeah.
the maintenance, whatever. I did it all.
Right. And that's what it is. Like you came up, just seeing it. So you know it. Yeah. That's
on,
like I don't even know if it was nepotism, but the owner of Kith, Ronnie. So he started working for David Z. You remember David Z?
Hell yeah, I remember
He
David
started
Z.
working for David Z in the stock room.
Uh-huh.
So he went from the stock room to the sales floor to the manager to working at a different company to working at when it was what was that on? It was on I can't even think of the name of it now. It used to be Kith.
It was on-
Before it was Kith, it was on the corner of like Broadway and like right there Broadway and Bleecker.
I know exactly the story
Yeah,
you're talking
I
about.
can't
He
think
used
of
to
the name
sell
of
the
Iceberg, they
Japanese
used to
denim
sell,
and all
yeah,
that.
they used to sell
Yeah, I
Red
used to go
Monkey,
there.
all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I can't. It's crazy. I can't think
I
of the
know
name, but I
exactly
know
what
so
you're
many
talking about,
people that
yeah.
used to work there.
Yeah.
Even one of the owners was Eli Kibble, who actually was a part owner of Scotch and Soda. That's how I got into Scotch and Soda. I linked up with him. But anyway, so then Ronnie worked there. Atrium.
Yeah,
was the name of it.
Atrium. I used to go
Yeah,
there.
so then Ronnie
Yeah,
worked at
yeah.
Atrium, and
Isn't
then
that
he
on Broadway downtown?
That's on Broadway.
Yeah.
It's
I
like 2
remember it.
blocks away from House.
Yep.
I remember it,
So then
yeah.
he went from working at Atrium to actually getting the whole building and turning it into Kith. So you know what I mean? You don't even understand. Like he worked all because I heard people hating on him all the time. Like, oh, like how did he get to store? He just got put in position. But he started working for somebody he knew, which was David Z.
Yeah.
David Z put him in position, and he was willing to start at the bottom and saw, from the bottom to the top, saw how everything works.
Paid his dues.
That's how you gotta do it.
Right.
You gotta learn from the.
Yeah, and if you got somebody that's gonna extend their hand and bring you in, why not do it?
Use that to your advantage.
Use it to your advantage. But
got
the thing
free
about it is,
schooling.
but you still got to put the work in. I think that's what people forget about nepotism and people bringing you up. You still have to put the work in, because if you don't put the work in, it's not gonna work anyway.
Yo, check this out. I don't know. See, y'all not from the Bronx. Y'all from Queens, and that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing.
Here
I
we
just-
go.
I just want to let that be known. That's a sad thing that you're not from the Bronx. But this is a place called Jew Man.
Okay.
Place in the Bronx called Jew Man. And if you look back, if you look in it, type in Jew Man.
Jew Man.
They used to sell all kinds of sneakers. When I tell you every sneaker you could think about, so this guy named Simon Akiva used to own Jew Man.
So what you're telling me is a Jew owned Jew Man?
Yes.
A Jewish person owned Jew
Yes,
Man.
yes.
See,
So-
there was no Jewish slander here.
No.
His name.
But Simon Akiva, he's
Akiva.
a good man.
He's
Simon
Akiva, you hear that? He's
good
Jewish.
man, good man. I had a clothing situation with him. I had a clothing deal with him.
Yeah.
Simon Akiva used to own Jew Man. So Simon Akiva's kids, you know what they own?
What do they own now?
All the One Oaks across the globe.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
The One Oaks, Boulevard. I think they own Boulevard. No, not Boulevard. It's a club. It's another club. They own they in the club business. That's
Right.
what they do. But they own One Oaks,
Right.
so they're doing very well. If their father wasn't Simon Akiva, would
Right.
they have gone into that lane?
Yeah, maybe
what I'm saying?
they couldn't even have got there without.
And
he laid the blueprint.
Simon Akiva was behind Maurice Malone too.
Okay.
And Maurice, if you're still in New York, I know you're from Detroit. Maurice Malone's from Detroit.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you know
His
New York,
clothing was crazy.
We would love to
Maurice-
have you on the show.
Yeah, Maurice Malone's clothing
Maurice
was.
Malone was ahead of his time.
He was for sure.
But he had Fat
I used to
Joe.
rock that for sure.
Simon Akiva had Fat Joe, FJ 560,
Yeah.
Maurice Malone. He had me. My company was Christopher Michaels. And he had Groovy Lou,
Okay.
Groovy Styles. And so it was a form of nepotism. I mean, they used their father's connections and whatever they had, and boom,
Right.
got into the business of clubs. And they had the hottest clubs all over, man.
And I
I
feel
don't even
like
know if
that-
One Oaks is still even popping like that. But they probably doing something else.
Yeah,
outside
probably
of
something
that.
else. I don't even know if it's a One Oak still in New York City.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really hear
I
about
know
it
they were in
anymore.
Vegas.
Yeah, but I know at one
I know
point One Oak was
they
like,
were all over.
and it was like top of the top.
Yeah,
like,
top.
like,
it was top tier.
Like
Super
you even
A-list.
heard every artist you heard talking about they was in One Oak,
Yeah,
popping
super
bottles in
A-list.
One Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, look, man, it's your job to put your kids in a better position that you in. I don't care if you're rich. If I got a 100 mil, I'm putting my kid in a position where he can make a bill. That's my
Right.
bet. That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna put
Right,
you
me
in a
too.
position.
Whatever resources I have or
Yeah.
whatever, I'm gonna extend those resources.
Of course.
But then, of course, like you just said, sometimes you get some kids. It's like some celebrity kids we know
Mm-hmm.
that they just might not go in that direction. They might not, agree with what you do, or you know what I mean.
Well, you don't have to go in the same direction, but I would like you to. But if you don't want to,
But no, I'm
And,
talking about like some of the kids don't even want nothing to do with anything. Like they just want to sit at home or either want to do their own
Oh, well,
thing.
you're on your own.
You have
you're on your own.
Yeah, you have.
If you ain't
kids
trying to do
like that,
nothing,
yeah.
I don't care if you're a bus driver.
Yeah, I know some.
You're gonna do something.
I know a few celebrity
You ain't trying to do
kids.
nothing?
I know a few celebrity kids that
You can't live here.
That they don't want to, that they just, I don't know if it's because it could have even been because maybe they was like, with their
They're
mom and not
entitled.
with their dad. But
Yeah,
basically, that's
entitled.
what it comes down to. It comes down to entitlement.
I
Like
agree.
I'm owed something. You're
Nah,
not owed
you're not owed
anything,
anything.
on this earth.
I
Anything.
worked hard for it. You got to work hard for it. You
have
got to
to.
do what you got to do.
But most kids or most people probably won't be put in this position that I'm putting you in. But you're gonna have to work hard for it.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a position, I'm gonna put you in position.
So I was talking to my daughter the other day, right? She's 19. She said, Daddy, I want to get a job. I said, yeah, you want to get a job? I said, that's good. You want to get a job? I said, I want you to see how it feels to work for somebody.
Right.
But she's trying to do her own thing. But she said, I want to get a job so I can, mingle with people and
Right.
see, mingle with people. So I said, yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. I said, but why you want to get? She said, because I don't like. I'm tired of being broke. I said, you been broke before? She said, I'm broke right now, Daddy. I don't have any money.
Right.
She said, I asked you for everything. So I said, okay. I said, but my version of broke is you got your own apartment, you're barely getting by, you don't have no, you know what I'm saying? You're shaking because you're scared to death because you
Right.
might get kicked out. That's broke. You get 4-5 square meals a day.
Right, you doing better
got
than
cable.
most people.
You don't pay your cell phone bill.
No overhead bills. Yeah.
You don't do nothing. You
Most people are going negative on a daily
Yeah,
basis. Like
exactly.
they're in debt on a daily basis.
So I in her situation, she's trying to do something. So I'm
Right.
like, all right, go. But I see what she's trying to do outside of just trying to want a job.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if I'm in a good position, a great position, and you don't want to take advantage of that, and all you want to do is sit around the house and possibly smoke weed or chill on
Play
the
a
phone.
video game.
Get out of here. You out of here. You're gone, B. Believe me.
Right.
I'm going to give you 30 days.
Yeah, what's crazy is you brought that up. They even had Nelly. Nelly was on a show.
Oh, I like what he said.
Where he was like, my daughter could come home or whatever the case, until she get herself together. He's like, but my son, you sleeping on the couch because you're going to be uncomfortable.
You got to be in comfortable
right.
positions to put yourself in a better position.
Right, so I was like, that's kind of crazy, but I get what he's saying. He's
Nah, I
like,
understand
you
what
can
he's saying.
you can come home,
You can eat, you can come get
do
meals
whatever
and all
you wanna
that,
do, but you're a grown man.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. You got to figure out what you're gonna do
You'll get
next.
tired of sleeping on that couch.
For sure.
You get tired.
But if I put you up-
he lucky he gave him a couch.
Right, but if I put you up in the second floor room with a jacuzzi or whatever, you probably never gonna
You probably
leave.
never leave.
You be like, oh,
But you know what's so funny, man? A lot of families, I'm not kicking my kid out.
right,
I don't care. I'm just not going to do it. Because a lot of families outside, I'm not talking about black families. I grew up around Greeks, Italians,
right.
some Jews, and they stay at they don't get out real quick. When they you know when they leave, when they get ready to get married.
Yeah.
And
then sometimes
families
the family even be like, no, you don't gotta leave. You and your wife can move in here.
Yeah, in some cases, yes.
Or either
that's
if
true.
we own the building, they
Save
move in
your
the
money,
building.
get money for a
Yep.
house.
Yep, save
Don't
your money.
leave just yet.
Yep.
So I'm like, life is hard, man.
Right.
It's hard out here.
It is.
And then you're gonna give somebody else $3,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment that's 700 square feet for how many years? 2 or 3 years. That's a crazy down payment on a house.
Right.
That's like $90,000 on down on a house. So you could have stayed with me, put that money in the bank, and got you a house.
Right.
And then it's bad because in our culture you look down upon people that still live with their parents. If you're living with your parents and you're stacking your money and you're not buying
It's different.
Mercedes Benzes and all that and doing all types of dumb, stupid things, and you're stacking your money, you're like, listen, I'm waiting to get. when I move out, I'm gonna get a house.
Right. Even
If
as
you're
an
doing
adult,
that,
you're an
then
adult.
all right,
Right.
cool, I understand. You got a plan.
Yep.
But if you don't have a plan, you're just living with your parents,
Right.
and you're like 27, 28 years old, which is young. To me, that's young. Because you don't know nothing at 28.
You don't.
What do you know? I didn't really start thinking about life until I was 33. I was just partying. I was going to clubs every single day. Every day.
They don't have clubs like that no more.
Nah, they don't have clubs like that.
That was the
But,
thing to
yeah,
do.
it was the thing
I
to do.
agree. I feel bad for today's culture, man.
Yeah, they don't clubs, right?
They don't,
Yeah.
they don't even go outside. They don't. You know what I mean?
Nah, they don't go outside.
Yeah, I went to
But
went
they
to
make
the-
more money than us.
Yeah, I went to the coffee
Inside
shop.
house.
Yeah, inside the house. I went to the
Gaming, social media. You right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I went to the coffee shop and there was like a lady there talking to one of the other baristas and she was saying like her daughter's 19 and she was like, I can't get her to leave the house. She was like,
My daughter never left. My daughter leave the house.
She was like, I was outside, I was doing this, I had a job, I had blah. She was like, and she just like is on the phone or on her game or like she doesn't leave the house.
yeah.
So it's different now. Us, like you said, 19, we was already out. Oh, that's an 18 and up club. I'm gonna go here.
What?
Like we was,
What?
yeah,
I was in the tunnel.
before we was.
I was in the Palladium, the Tunnel, the Blue Velvet, the
So it's just, the times is just different.
Megatron. I was in every club you could think
The
about.
times is just different. Yeah.
But the advantage of them staying in the house is they make a lot of money in the house.
They can.
Right on their phone, or they get a laptop. They're in their house, social
Yeah, they
media. They
can.
know how to make that money, but.
Yeah.
The pressure, it's more pressure. It's good, but then it's more pressure because it's like,
They
you
see
should,
everything.
you should have a condo. You should have a loft in Soho because
For
my
sure.
friend has a loft in Soho and she makes about $300,000 a month
but
just
that-
doing OnlyFans.
But I was about to say another thing
OnlyFans, what?
I was about to say another thing about that too is what they got to realize is some of this stuff is exaggerated. So when you see your friend on Instagram, with the Bentley and with the Birkin bag, which you guys, it's not easy to get a Birkin bag. You got to go to Hermes, you got to order the bag. It takes months to come.
Don't you gotta get on a list or something
Yeah,
like
you
that?
got to get on a list. So it's not even like these rappers you see pop up handing out Birkins. You get Canal Street specials. They do. They give them the box and everything. And they're Canal Street specials. So you just got to be mindful that what you're pushing yourself for to try to achieve these material things. A lot of it is not real life. That person's not making $300,000. They're telling you that. They can fake it, like you said. They can fake these invoices now. to make it look, put it online like, oh, I just made $500,000 on OnlyFans. No, you didn't. So you know what I mean? So you can't judge your life based on what you see somebody else's life look like on social media or what people are telling you they're doing, because people are always going to tell you the good part about what they want you to hear. They're not going to tell you the full story about what they had to go through to get these things, or even if these things are really there. Some of these things don't even be, they be exaggerating. They don't even be really their things. So young people, just, go at your own pace and, do what you got to do to get where you got to get, but don't look at somebody else's situation and think that's where you need to be. And that's the price of fame. What we talk about:
fashion, art,
music,
and entertainment.
Walk this way.
One.